Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. My name's Evan Smith, the pastor at Second Presbyterian Church here in downtown Stanton, and I'm coming to you today for your daily Lenten devotional. Today we're looking at the 5th chapter of John's Gospel, beginning in verse 31. So let's dive right in. This is Jesus speaking. He says, "If I testify about myself, my testimony is not true. There is another who testifies on my behalf, and I know that his testimony to me is true. You sent messengers to John, and he testified to the truth. Not that I accept such human testimony, but I say these things so that you may be saved. He was a burning and shining lamp, and you were really willing to rejoice for a while in his light. But I have a testimony greater than John's." So what Jesus is talking about here is how the life of John the Baptist pointed to Jesus. That John made it his mission for others to think more of Jesus. John made it his mission for it to be easier for other people to see Jesus through John's life. Which made me think, what about my life? Does my life make it easier for people to know Jesus and to see Jesus, or is my life erecting roadblocks that keep people from knowing about Jesus? There are a lot of folks as you drive around, you'll see the Jesus fish on their car, or all these bumper stickers or whatever else. But for years and years, I was always very hesitant to have any sort of thing like that would identify me as a Christian. Because I've said, I'm not always the most Christian of drivers. And I don't mean like exactly in the terms of like, I'm not going to cut you off and flip you the bird or anything of that sort. But I do speed occasionally, and some things may happen. I may not always be the best witness for Jesus, and so I didn't want to mark that would have any sort of thing that could make someone think less of Jesus based on my driving. But as I mentioned in a previous devotional, I did decide when I came to Virginia to do the most Virginia thing ever, and I got a vanity license plate, and it says "Love Does" after this book. It's one of my favorite books by Bob Goff of the same name. And one day, I was at this gas station, and this person came up to me, and he's like, "Man, I love your license plate." And I thought it was a fan of the book. I've had this happen a few times. People have been fans of the book. We had this great conversation. And this guy comes up to me. He's like, "I love your license plate." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." And he's like, "You know what? Me too, man. Like the other day, in fact, I was just walking in the woods, and I came upon this doe. And I just stood as still as possible so I could watch her before I scared her off." And I'm like confused. What is he talking about? And then I realized, oh my goodness, the plural of doe, as in doe, a deer, a female deer, is also the word does. And so it looks like love does, or does it look like I'm saying I love does, like the female deer? So I've decided that if I ever do anything that's not so Christian in the car, then it wasn't love does that cut you off. It was a guy who loves does. Nonetheless, this is something I think we need to think about. Are our lives pointing to Jesus in a way that it makes others easier to know about Jesus? That does it inspire them to want to know more about Jesus? Or are our lives erecting roadblocks that could keep someone from wanting to know more about Jesus? That's the thing I want us to think about today, and that's the challenge I lay out to you today, to begin really thinking about that, praying about that, and seeing how it is that we can live a life that honors and glorifies Jesus the most. And that's your word for the day. Thanks a lot. I hope you have a great day. If you do like this, please click the like button and maybe share it on your own page. All right. Goodbye.